save the city. Myself, Charles Lewis, the chief, the mayor, Charlottesville Tomorrow, my friend Shadee Gilliam, we all got together and we said, you know what? We need to come and just talk to the city, find out how everybody feels, find out, what's going on. Let the mayor and let the police chief kind of just talk to us as family. We have enough, in my opinion, we have enough fake news, and we have enough polished news, but we don't have any real news. We don't have any real feelings. We don't have people interjecting, saying, I'm scared. We don't have people saying, okay, everybody that's doing all these crimes that we don't like aren't from here, and somebody stepping up and saying, no, these people are from here. They have a connection. You know what I'm saying? So what we're going to do for the next hour and a half is talk real. Me personally, the chief is a friend of mine. The mayor is a friend of mine, and I know their hearts. And I know that they want peace in the city no different than any of the rest of us. So what we here at In My Humble Opinion and our friends are going to do is we're going to give you the chance to hear them talk like we talk to them as friends and family, so we can try to come together and figure out what this is. What do you think, Charles?
I can dig it.
Okay.
I can dig it, man. And this strikes on a different chord for me. This is not just some rhetoric, that we're doing. This is not just reporting news from some distant place and land and people that we don't know and understand. This is about the city that we love. This is about the people that we love. This is about being a black man.
Yeah.
Right? And this is about seeing young black boys who are just looking for life, right?
Yeah.
Looking for life.
Yeah.
And when I say looking for life, meaning growing, understanding who they are, and figured out what's the best choices to get to the point to where they want to end up.
Yeah.
And sometimes life gets so misconstrued to where they lose focus of it and make choices that they otherwise would not make.
Yeah.
And I started that by saying being a black man, because to me, that's the number one. That's the root right here. Like when we step up, when we take control of our homes, our community, that's when I think that we're going to see a real difference. Men, women, black, white, but as a black man, I'm going to say it starts with us, the foundation.
Now, one thing that I want people to understand is that I've been to the bottom, I've been to the top. I've been now where I would be considered a good role model, and I've walked the path that you might look at me with a side eye, and one thing that I know about our young black men is we don't take the opportunities that we don't know exist. Now, when I say that is that before Barack Obama, as a black child, I would have never thought that a black person could become president. And coming up as a kid, I just didn't think that was reserved for us, So a lot of opportunities to me start in the mind. Yes, because you can put $1 million in front of somebody and it will only last so long because they are not equipped mentally to understand that this is for me. And in this show right here, right, we're getting ready to address some of our friends, let them say hi, let them tell you, how they feel, where we're going with this. And hopefully by the end of it, it will at least get the conversation going where we know we need one another. There comes a time where arguments become trivial, and you need to understand that, okay, that could be your child on that T-shirt.
Absolutely.
At least in my generation, we put you on T-shirts. Now you get a little picture on Facebook.
Get a hashtag.
Until it just goes off. And that's not what we were created for. So everybody that's on here with me, I welcome you. I thank you. Elliott, Jessie, Shadee, I'm sorry, I said Shadee. And my friend, Chief RaShall Brackney. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Hey, Shadee, congratulations. I haven't seen you or talked to you during this pandemic, but congratulations. Please give that beautiful wife of yours my regards.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Charlottesville Tomorrow, how y'all doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a week. Glad it's Friday.
Okay. Jessie?
I'm going to echo what Elliott said. It has been a week.
Okay. Well, let's kind of jump into it. Chief, I'll start with you, not for putting you on the spotlight, but as a mode of respect that I have for you, you know. My first question that I would want to know is, why do we feel like there has been an increase in these type of crimes all of a sudden?
So thank you for having me, and also thank you for putting this together so quickly. That tells you how the community cares about these issues. That, you know, we put out a call yesterday, and today you're responding as to how you can help make a difference in this community. So violence is spiking across the United States. Homicides are up and shootings are up as well. And it's almost this perfect confluence of factors that are coming together. Let's first start with saying that I know none of us condones violence on this program. And we've learned to move through, as we've matured, different ways to handle conflict. But as our young persons have not been given or not provided the opportunities for those same tools to mediate their differences. Violence and guns are the way they feel respected, regain their power, say, notice me, I am to be considered. So why is it going across? Not only Charlottesville, but here. Most of them are often economic drivers, senses of powers. I say all the time, in communities, you will create an economy if you do not have access to the traditional business economies that middle-class America has access to. If you are shut out of opportunities to make a living wage, you will find a way to be resilient in your communities and to survive in your communities. And those maladaptive, and I'm air quoting, maladaptive strategies that we look at are an outgrowth of being forced to come up with another way to gain access and to gain entry into wealth and economies and having the same type of, you know, life that we see on TV that we want to emulate as we even walk around here in Charlottesville. I mean, it does not go unnoticed that, you know, the average home here is now going for $800,000-$900,000, and who has access? Who can afford that? But you see it and you want it just like everyone else. And you see people with cars and you want it just like everyone else. And you want access to good food like everyone else. That's right. When I see the lines in Whole Foods and Trader Joe's all the way around in Wegmans to get into the spaces, you see people want to have access to good, healthy food. And there's no way to get that when you're squabbling over a $600 relief check.
Yeah, that's right.
People will need money and they need it now. Again, not condoning violence, but understand there are drivers. And in this current pandemic, when you have 20, 30, 40 million people unemployed, and the gulf between wealth and those who have it and those who don't is getting wider and wider and wider and wider. And has continued on that trajectory more so in the last 4 years. What do we think is going to be the natural outgrowth of that? Yeah. And then we all clutch our pearls, no pun intended that I happen to be wearing some. Then we all clutch our pearls saying, what is going on in these community and communities across the nation?
Let me ask you this.
It's been perfectly configured to happen.
Let me ask you this. And this is a question that it took me getting to close to a police officer, as close as I am to you, to be able to ask this kind of question. How difficult is it for a person of color that is with law enforcement, knowing that the system, like you said, has been set up for failure for certain people, and still pushing the law system? Like, because you have a job you have to do. It says that if you're doing this, this is what you have to do. If you do this, this is what I have to do. But as a person of color, how difficult is it to know that the system has been set up for failure and you still have to do your job?
So being able to do this job, I've never been able to decouple my race and ethnicity from the work that I do. As you notice, I use words like criminal legal system. I don't use criminal justice system, understanding that it is not a just system. However, that does not mean that I don't play a role in this. And if I abdicate that role, what does it look like if somebody like me is not sitting in this space, really advocating for justice in a system that has never been built on a foundation of justice? However, as I tell people all the time, wealthy folks will have police in their systems. They will have them in their communities. They have the money and they can afford protections, either through their gated communities for private security and other ones. And those ones who are often calling for, the dismantling of policing systems are the ones who are not affected by those systems. So they don't care how it's being dismantled because it doesn't affect their everyday life anyway. So how do I hold that line? The way I hold that line is every community deserves to live in a place where they feel safe. Not just your home, your community. And that's how I do it. That I think about, what does fear look like? Why shouldn't I be able to, as a 5 or 6 year old, go out to a tot lot and play on the playground and not worry about shots being fired? So for me, staying in this place, understanding that there are things that we all say that we don't condone, and that we all have to have play a part in enforcing those norms, where it becomes the norm that we live in a healthy, thriving space and not the opposite. So for me to stay in this work and doing this work, I don't struggle in the same ways because I've been in this work for a very long time. This isn't a new approach for me. This isn't, I got brand new just because, Colin Kaepernick took a knee, or I got brand new after the marches that started under Michael Brown or Trayvon Martin in 2012 and 2013. I didn't just get brand new at this. So staying in this space, I feel comfortable because the approach and what I'm committed to doing to really doing no harm in those communities. You can still serve a community and still enforce public safety and create an atmosphere of public safety without one that is oppressive.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break here, but I want to leave you with something I want you to think about. What does defund the police mean to a police officer? We'll be right back with this In My Humble Opinion exclusive in a minute.